Before we get started on the Dharma talk, please join me in invoking Buddha's name 3 times. Namo Shakyamuni. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Sorry. Excuse me. Can you give me the other one, please? Give me the other one. I was supposed to start on the teaching on the 12 links of dependent origination. Busy. Thank you. This week, and I have not had time to prepare that very deep teaching just yet. So I apologize for delaying, but it is what it is, right? So instead, we'd like to piggyback off of last week's dumb questions, just dumb people who have no questions. So what are your questions? Smart. Okay. Well, in that case, I will briefly speak on the 6 perfections, the 6 paramitas. And the 6 perfections are, of course, another list in Buddhism. It is an important list, especially for the bodhisattvas. So the question I got the other day was concerning the bodhisattvas. We had a school field trip here. And so when we have school field trips and whatnot, and go into some Buddhism 101 history, pretty much. And of course, one of the questions I always get is the concerning our statues, right? And the bodhisattvas. So of course, other than the historical Buddha and Amitabha Buddha, all the other statues are bodhisattvas, right? Saints of Buddhism. And so the question was, what is the role of, which was a great question, because we hear and read about the bodhisattvas pretty much in every chant or prayer we do. And so it's a valid question if we don't know what the bodhisattva is, right? So a bodhisattva is essentially a being who has vowed to attain enlightenment for the benefit of all other beings. And so, as we've discussed before, there are enlightenment, right? The Sotapadana, Sakadagamin, Anagamin, Arhat, the stream enter, once returner, non-returner, and the fully enlightened. And then we have 10 stages of the Bodhisattva and 7 stages of Buddhahood. So there's a lot of steps we get into. But it's only at the 10th stage of the Bodhisattva that enlightenment, full enlightenment, is complete. But prior to that, the Bodhisattva makes vows to withhold their own full enlightenment until all other beings are fully enlightened. Then they can say, all right, I did. Temple of the Dharma. Corner we have his opposites. So we have the good-looking Deva, who does the opposite of his brother, which is invite those with good intentions and good wills to come and benefit for their sake and for the sake of all other beings. And so the bodhisattvas, just like the Buddha, right, don't have any, or the statues themselves at least, don't have any significant power or truth as reminders of what we want to accomplish on our path. And so traditionally, when we see the statue of the Buddha, who is charismatic, who looks serene and at peace and content, right? Those are the qualities that we want to try to develop within ourselves, right? So it's not necessarily a practice of worship, since we do not have a concept of worship necessarily, right? They're just here to say, hey, you're having evil thoughts or negative thoughts or unwholesome thoughts. Let's switch that around and try to do better, right? Since our lives are governed by the mind, right? And have the mind qualities that are unwholesome, that are negative or unhelpful or unbeneficial to ourselves and to others. And that's the only way we're going to be able to change our lives, to change our suffering into true happiness, is to reflect on the mind and how the mind is doing its thing. And so part of the bodhisattva's path, and we're all aspiring bodhisattvas, and in the Mahayana tradition, our goal, of course, our ultimate goal is to attain full enlightenment of a Buddha. But in the meantime, we become aspiring bodhisattvas. And the main fuel that helps us on this path is developing a quality called bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the altruistic wish to attain enlightenment for all beings, right? To do, to generosity, or dana, is a perfection of true generosity. And this isn't necessarily generosity normal, this isn't normal generosity, right? This isn't a being nice kind of generosity. This is true giving without the expectation of a return. Okay? And in Buddhism, this isn't necessarily just materialistic giving. This is giving time, giving effort, giving energy, giving just a shoulder to cry on, an ear to listen, to be vented to, right? And of course it does, if money help, advice or help or whatever it may be, right? So it's not just giving in the materialistic sense, but it's also about the intention behind that giving. Because a lot of times people want to give and they do things in maybe not the best intentions, right? Especially when it comes to the act of volunteering, for instance. A lot of people, unfortunately, have the intention to volunteer to make themselves feel better or to show off or to showcase that they're giving. That's giving in order to be seen or heard or to show off or whatnot, right? There's no trueness there. So if that intention is, if that's the intention behind that act of giving, it nullifies the whole act, right? You've essentially gave zero credit, or you've received zero credit. or morality or discipline. And this isn't the discipline meaning following the rules, but more or less it's the discipline by following the 5 precepts, for instance. So for those that have taken the 3 refuge and 5 precepts, you know that the 5 precepts is to abstain from killing, to abstain from taking life, to abstain from stealing, to abstain from sexual misconduct, to abstain from lying, and to abstain from taking intoxicants, right? These aren't rules or commandments in a sense that we may think of them. To abstain from any of these has a huge potential to ruin your life or the life of others, right? Nobody wants to take life. If you take life, you're going to jail. If you steal or lie, you're going to also potentially go to jail. You can ruin one's reputation, ruin the trust and the respect that you have or others have for you. Committing sexual misconduct has the potential of ruining your own health, ruining other people's health for the world, and see how many people die or hurt from that, right? And so these aren't spiritual religious rules, they're just common sense for the most part. And by abstaining from these acts or actions, then you have a almost guaranteed positive outcome in living a wholesome, beneficial life. But it's also to remind ourselves to take action, to take responsibility for our actions, right? It's to, when we take the precepts, again, they're not rules or regulations. If you break them, no power to forgive you. The Buddha has no power to forgive you. Nobody has any power to forgive you except yourself, right? You are your own boss, essentially. You're your own manager. You have the capability, you have the responsibility to honor those promises that you've made to yourself, right? And so part of the process of taking those precepts is to hold yourself accountable, how the mind works or how it's reacting to certain situations or circumstances. You have a huge opportunity to stop it right then and there before it turns into speech. As we know, words have a lot of power, right? It can make or break something or someone. And so if we're able to stop that negativity, that unwholesomeness, and you've even created even more bad karma juju, pretty much. The third perfection is patience, santi. And santi here literally means able to withstand. And the Buddha gives us 3 characteristics. The life that has this is dissatisfying. But we accept that life is difficult and full of chaos, as well as being temporary. Right? That's the key point here. It is in its impermanence, and knowing and accepting the impermanence of things in life and suffering in itself, then it's easier. Most people will remember and hold on to their suffering longer than any moments of happiness, right? You'll most likely remember someone slapping you than someone giving you a hug, right? And so, but that's just our mind clinging to said suffering. It's just holding on to something that is unhelpful. No, that's totally correct. It's limiting, right? It holds you back. Because most people are already projecting a unfavorable outcome into something. And that projection, that expectation doesn't do any benefit, right? And so when the day goes by and something negative is out of our control, we cling to it. We're like, this wasn't supposed to happen. They should have said this or done that, right? This wasn't supposed to happen until next week or next year or next century. The second characteristic of patience is patience with others. This, of course, is obvious, where it just means that we don't allow others' negativity to affect us. Because I'm sure we've all been in situations and scenarios where we've been upset with it ruins our mood, right? And the unfortunate result of this is when we're unmindful or unaware of our mood changing because of others, then we go, right? And so you may go into work, sure, it's Monday, but you may go into work all happy and excited and giddy. I don't know who does that, but if you do, and someone comes up and ruins your mood, well, now you're all hissy about it, and someone else in a good mood may come up and try to say hi or how was your weekend, and you're just upset. And now you've created an upset environment for them, and now you've turned their happy mood into a negative mood, and they're gonna just spread that negativity, right? Like a domino effect. And so if we're able to, you're really not that important when it comes to suffering, right? Because we're egotistical beings for the most part, and we want the world to revolve around us, we forget that we should be having for them in order to help their suffering and help them get out of that suffering, all right? Because if you've completely abandoned or completely have forgotten that other people do suffer, we won't be able to help directly, but indirectly is still a helpful act to do. The third characteristic is that includes accepting the truth about other things, that we are angry, that we're jealous, that we're ignorant, we're greedy, that we are pretty much responsible or ultimately responsible for our own unhappiness in life. Since our main practice is the creator of our happiness or unhappiness, there's nothing or no one in the entire universe that can cause you to become happy or unhappy, right? We may have situations and circumstances and people and places and things that bring us some temporary relief or some temporary happiness, which is the beauty of impermanence. Because knowing that it won't last, whether it's good or bad, is in itself your own savior. Right? So when we do suffer, when we are angry, or we are greedy, or we are ignorant, or whatever emotion or feeling or situation or circumstance or stage in life that you are, the acceptance of that impermanence scale, our few minutes, hours, days, years, decades of suffering is nothing. It's a blimp. It's limp at the cosmic level. At the cosmic level. Answer. The fourth perfection is energy, vidya. This is more closer to effort or times already. That's the importance of both practice and study, right? Because if you're just studying, you know a lot, but you don't really do it. Superstitious almost. Right? You're like, oh yeah, the prayer, the form, the ritual, this is what's gonna help me, this is what's gonna save me. And that's not it either, right? So it's a combination of both studying, and you have to do, and you have to experience types of effort that will help on your path. And the will to walk the path as far as it goes for as long as it takes. And this, for most people, means letting go of bad habits or giving up excuses, or even both, right? Because there's a lot of someone will say, oh, I just don't have the time to practice, I don't have the time to study, I don't have the time to do anything, right? Well, that's just an excuse. We're just giving up bad habits. But if you replace these bad habits, these excuses, with actual practice and study, well, then you're developing yourself, right? You're actually making the effort required. Without that action, well, might as well just be a tree stump. might as well just be a rock on the side of the river. Then we have our spiritual training. It is pretty much your time to shine, right? So now you've studied, now you've practiced, you help explain those experiences. Fifth perfection is meditation, dhyana. And this is, of course, the specific right concentration in the Eightfold Path, where it's divided into samatha and vipassana type of meditations, concentration. And this is, I won't go into it too much since we spoke about it in depth already, but it's the practice in order to perfect our meditation. And this is the direct and ultimate realization of emptiness, of shunyata. Go into this. Emptiness in itself, I can spend months talking about. But at a pretty high level, emptiness isn't, hopefully you know, it doesn't mean nothingness. Inherent existence, inherent nature, self-nature, right? That nothing can exist on its own. And so when we get into the dependent origination talks, hopefully starting next week, we'll see how everything is interconnected on something else, right? And Buddha tells us that this little thing. But what makes it a computer or a microphone? It makes it a microphone because it's projecting my voice, right? It's because it's projecting my voice, right? It's connected to the speakers and it projects my voice outward. But at what point does this cease to be a microphone? Is it when I turn it off and my voice is no longer projected? Is it when I disconnect it? Is it when I take the battery out? Disconnect it? Is it when I take the battery out? Is it when I undo all the little pieces? At what point undo all the little pieces? At what point does it stop being a microphone? Or the car, how many pieces do you have to remove in order for it to stop being a car? So emptiness here is just the understanding that nothing is just what it is, right? And nothing, it didn't just pop into existence. This bolt didn't just pop into existence, right? It needed the materials, the metals, the coloring, maybe, right? It needed the machinery to create it. It needed the coloring, maybe, right? It needed the machinery to create it. It needed the people to manufacture it. On and on, it's endless. But to think that things just are, this flower or these plants just are, and just that's all that it is. That's all that it is what emptiness is trying to teach us, right? That these flowers exist because of the conditions. Take any one of these elements out, and this flower would never exist. Never exist. Right? And so, right? And so it's being able to see things. It's being able to see things beyond what things are, which then helps us. The flower is part of that ignorance. Right? Flower is part of that ignorance. Right? So what we're trying to eradicate is that ignorance. This ignorance is, again, just trying to see things, trying to see reality for what it is. And the reason why that emptiness is so important is to see things for that emptiness is so important is to see things for its dependency on other things, is to alleviate too. You can't just have the flower. You have to have everything else that came too. You can't just have the flower. You have to have everything else that came with it. If you have an attachment to a significant other, you have the food of a lesser impulse to cling to things and to people. That's the 6 perfections of the Bodhisattva. Paramittas. Questions, concerns. Paramittas. Questions, concerns, emotional outbursts. Is nirvana true happiness? No. Nirvana is the enlightenment is the absence of everything. Because if we think of our regular happiness as dependent on something or someone, right? Whatever, right? There are conditions to this happiness and unhappiness. Nirvana, or enlightenment, is the absence of all conditions. So there's nothing to make you happy or unhappy. Things just are. Think of the concept of thinking itself. The only reason you think is because there's phenomena that's allowing you to think. Right? There are things in the world that make you think, oh, that looks pretty. That's ugly. This is tall. This is short. It's a dumb question. That's a good question. Right? There's things that make you think. These you compare. There's nothing to say to make you favor this or that. So it's the absence of conditions is what nirvana is.
So then it's not completely true to say that nirvana is the only permanent thing. It's permanent and not permanent.
The absence of conditions is permanent until you die. But we all have moments of nirvana that come and go. Right, and so if we're speaking that from an unenlightened perspective, then it is impermanent. But we have those maybe, but it's not complete yet. Enlightenment is not complete yet. It's only when it's complete, when the conditions of everything around us is when that enlightenment would be permanent. Until you die. And then that is it. That is because think of an excuse we made. You're like, oh man, I should have went. Now you spend the next 10 minutes, an hour, regretting not going, regretting that decision of staying home or making the excuse to go. So the mind, why did we stay home? Right? So it's victim blaming, or blaming yourself, really. But it's also the ego trying to stay in control. Zero control of anything outside of our own selves, right? And so when the ego or the mind is trying to create that sense of control and something doesn't go our way or doesn't work out in our favor, the mind will make excuses to make sense of what just happened. Does that make sense?
And victimization or being a victim, like I'm a victim of that situation, whatever happened, or was, is bring back that situation, whatever good moment, good happiness, or whatever you call it, in that situation, in the past. But we dream about it, and that's why we keep playing all that is the problem, but we're justifying by playing the victim game.
I'm trying to think of the psychological. So I'm not going to justify my answer. The ego's kind of dumb, actually, if you really think about it. Gain that control. Think of the people we have to throwing people under the bus or making unwholesome decisions, whatever it may be. But when we gain control, especially if we ask ourselves or when we're making a decision, right? Listen to the mind speak to itself, right? Because the mind saying, I want, or I need, or I whatever, right? When there's I involved, we really should be questioning the path or will this benefit myself or others? Sorry, no, harm. Will this harm myself or others?
All these bodhisattvas and all this stuff we have here. And I was explaining and here, saying my mantra is not supposed to be here. And I couldn't like 10 minutes on the statue. Why did you put here?
Oh, hair?
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't have to be a monk or not to be an enlightened person, right? Enlightenment isn't exclusive to monks and nuns or Buddhists, right? Enlightenment is just a general word we can use for anything, right? Whether it's self-realization or the practice of being closer to mind. And so if you see him, he has no hair. But the history of the bodhisattvas technically predate our historical Buddha. So much work to have hair, actually. So you have to wash it, you have to condition it, you have to style it. You don't spend too much time on your hair. Just shave it off, you have nothing to worry about, right? You know what I'm talking about. I think it was, in 2022, and they pretty much gave me the same answer as I did. In Texas, we're like, all right, I'm glad we're on the same page about not having hair. Nope. Karmic action we've accumulated here today, we wish to transfer the merit to all sentient beings and wish them full enlightenment. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. We are on week 6 of 7 for chanting for our late friend Leon. So it'll be the Amitabha Sutra on page 161. Speech and mind in perfect oneness, I send my heart along with the sound. The wonderful sound brings me back to my true home. Should we offer this incense, our wholehearted mindfulness and the fruit of understanding slowly ripening, may we and all beings be companions of Buddha as our true home. Sense in the answering our sincere intention, thus fulfill as all Bodhisattvas. The eternally abiding Buddhas, the supreme Dharma and sage of truth. To the fundamental teacher Shakyamuni, Maitreya, Honorable Bodhisattvas, and the glorious mountain assembly of Buddhas, and in the land of ultimate bliss of Avalokita, they come like Bodhisattvas. Sore Maha Sore So Sore Swaha. Great compassionate Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Namo. Great compassionate Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Namo. Aryavarukiteshavaraya, Bodhisattvaya, Mahasattvaya, Mahakarunikaya, Om Sarvaravaye, Sodanadasya, Namaskritvayi Mamadhyam, Ajiyam Sarvasattva, Namo Vasava, Namo Bhagamavitadu, Adyatha Om Avalokitokade, Karate Hiri Mahabodhisattva, Sarva Sarva Paramala Tirineshwaraya Chara Chara Shavi Visha Vishvam Rashaya Holo Holo Mara Holo Holo He Sara Sara Siri Siri Soro Soro Bodhiya Bodhiya Swaha Nara Kinde Swaha Mara Nara Swaha Sira Sima Mokaya Swaha Sarva Maha Siddhaya Swaha Chakra Siddhaya Swaha Padma Kasaya Swaha Nara Kindi Bhagadaya Swaha Yaya Namo Arya Parokite Shvaraya Swaha Om Siddhyanto Adaya concentration, my heart is at peace, a half smile is born on my lips, this is a new day and I vow to go through it in mindful, the sun of wisdom has Namo Shakyamunaye Bodhaya Namo Shakyamunaye Bodhaya Namo Shakyamunaye Bodhaya. And mind now before the Buddha, I read the Namo Samantha Bodhisattva Namo Samantha Bhadra Bodhisattva Namo Samantha Bhadra Bodhisattva. Unsurpassed, profound, and wonderful Dharma is if dozen bodhisattvas in the vast assembly of the lotus pool. Namo Buddhas and bodhisattvas in the vast assembly of the lotus pool. Namo Buddhas in the vast assembly of the Buddha dwelt Ashavasi in the Jeta grove in the garden of the benefactor of orphans and the solitary, together with a gathering of great bhikshus, 1,200 recognized elder Shariputra Mahamodgarayana Mahakashyapa Mahakatyana Mahakashuti Divata Shodhi Pantaka Nanda Ananda Buddha and others such as these, all great disciples together, all the bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, Dharma Prince Manju Shri Ajita Bodhisattva Gandhahasan Bodhisattva Vidyodukta Bodhisattva and Putra, passing from here through hundreds of thousands of millions of Buddha lands. There is a world called ultimate bliss. Moreover, Shariputra, this land of ultimate bliss is everywhere, surrounded by 7 tiers of railing, 7. This reason named ultimate bliss. Moreover, Shariputra, this land of ultimate bliss has pools of the 7, filled with the waters azuli and crystal above a raised pavilions adorned with gold, silver, lapis, azul, crystal, mother of pearl, red pearls, and carnelian. In the pools are lotuses as large as carriage wheels, green colored of green, yellow colored of yellow light, red colored of white, white colored of white light, white light. Fragrant and pure Shariputra, thousands of millions of Buddhas, other directions, millions of Buddhas, other directions, on mealtime they return to their own land, and having eaten, they return to their own land, and having eaten, they stroll around Shariputra, the organization of the is thus meritoriously adored. Moreover, Shariputra, in this land there are always Shariputra, in this land there are always rare and wonderful varied colored birds, white cranes, peacocks, parrots, and eagles. The 5 roots, the 5 powers, the 7 bodhi shares, the 8 sagely way shares, and dharma such as these when living beings of this land hear these sounds, they are all together mindful of the Buddha, mindful of the Dharma, and mindful of the Buddha land. There are no 3 evil ways of rebirth, Shariputra, in this Buddha, not even the names of the 3 evil ways exist, how much less their actuality, desiring that the Dharma sound be widely proclaimed. Amitabha Buddha, by transcendent blows the rows of jewel trees and jewel nets get for subtle. Her full sounds like 100,000 kinds of music played at the same time. All those who hear these sounds naturally bring forth in of the land of ultimate bliss, is thus meritoriously adored. Why is this Buddha called Amitabha Shariputra? The brilliance of the Buddha's light is measureless, illumining the lands of the 10 directions everywhere without obstruction. Extends for measureless, limitless, asamkaya kalpas. For this reason he is called Amitabha in Shariputra, since Amitabha realized Buddhahood, then kalpas have passed. Moreover, Shariputra, the Buddha has measureless, limitless, out-hearers born in the land of the ultimate bliss, are all in the same life will dwell in Buddha. They are all superior and good people, all gathered together in one place. Shariputra, one cannot have few good roots, blessings, virtues, and casual connections to attain birth in that land. Shariputra, if there is a good man or a good woman who hears spoken Amitabha and holds a name, whether for 1 day, 2 days, 3, 4, 5 days, 6 days, as long as 7 days, this person approaches, before him will appear Amitabha and all the assembly of holy ones. When the end comes, his heart is without inversion, and Amitabha be born in that land. Shariputra, as I now praise the inconceivable benefit from the merit perchance in his own land, each brings forth the appearance of a vast and long tongue everywhere, covering the 3,000 great thousand worlds, and speaks a sincere actual words. All you living beings should believe. Moonland Buddha, well known like Buddha, great blazing shoulders Buddha, Sumerulan Buddha, measureless figure Buddha, all Buddhas such as these numberless, as Ganges stands in his own land, each brings forth the appearance of a vast and long tongue everywhere, covering thousand worlds, and speaks a sincere, and one of whom all Buddhas are protected. Shariputra, in the Western world are measureless like Buddha, measureless appearance Buddha, measureless curtain Buddha, great light Buddha, great brightness Buddha, jeweled appearance Buddha, pure light Buddha. All words all you living beings should believe, praise, and hold in reverence the inconceivable merit and virtue of the mindful one of Buddha, such as these number. Ganges stands in his own land, each brings forth the appearance of a vast and long tongue everywhere, covering the 3,000 great thousand worlds, and speaks a sincere and actual words. All you living beings should believe, reverence the inconceivable merit and virtues. Old man, each brings forth the appearance of a vast and long tongue everywhere, covering the 3,000 great thousand worlds, and speaks a sincere words. All you living beings should reverence our pure sound Buddha, king of stars Buddha, superior fragrance Buddha, fragrant light Buddha, great blazing shoulders Buddha, very Buddha, vision of all meaning Buddha, such as Mount Sumeru Buddha, all Buddhas such as these numberless as Ganges sands, tongue everywhere, covering the 3,000 great thousand. Speaks the sincere and actual words, all you living beings should believe, praise and hold and reverence the inconceivable merit and virtue. If a good man or good woman hears the sutra and holds to it and hears the names of all these Buddhas, whose good man or woman will be Buddha, speak Shariputra. If there are people who have already now make the vow, or who are about to make the vow, I desire to be born in Ami, attain to Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Therefore Shariputra, all good men and good women, if they are should make the vow, I will be born in the land in the evil time of the 5 impurities, in the midst of the kalpa impurity, the view impurity, the affliction impurity, beings here. And the whole world is hard to believe, Shariputra, you should know that I in the evil time of the 5 impurities practice these difficult deeds, attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. For all the world speak this dharma, difficult to believe, extremely difficult. After the Buddha spoke this sutra, Shariputra and all the bhikshus, all the gods, men and asuras, and others from all the worlds, hearing what the Buddha Gagana Kita Kare Swaha Namo Amini Gagana Kita Kare Swaha Namo Amitabhaya Tathagata Taryata Amrita Bhavi Amrita Siddham Bhavi Amrita Vikrante Amrita Vikranta Gamini Gagana Kita Kare Swaha. All the 4 kinds of beings reach the jewel land, and the beings of all 3 realms be born from lotus. All the myriad ghosts attain 100 worlds wide as the seas. Eyes pure and clear, shining in his brilliance by transformation, are countless bodhisattvas and infinite Buddhas. His 48 vows will be liberation in my lotus sages. Reach the farthest shore. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Namo Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva. Namo Avalokiteshvara. Namo Shiddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Namo Shiddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Namo Shiddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Namo great pure sea like bodhisattvas. Namo great pure sea like bodhisattvas. Namo great bodhisattvas, heart of the Prajna. After this penetration, he overcame ill-being. Listen, Shariputra, form his formations and consciousness. Listen, Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They are neither produced nor destroyed, neither defiled nor immaculate, neither increasing nor decreasing. Therefore it empty. There is neither form nor feelings or perceptions or mental formations or consciousness, no eye or ear or nose or tongue or body or mind, no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no understanding, no attainment, because there is no attainment. The bodhisattvas grounded in Prajnaparamita find no obstacles for their minds, having no obstacles they overcome unequaled much. Destroyer of ill-being, the incorruptible truth, a mantra of Prajnaparamita should therefore be proclaimed. Gate gate para gate para samgate bodhi swaha gate gate para samgate para sambara hom namo sarva parokete yam sambara sambara hom namo soropa soro prasoro swaha namo soro payata tagyata yata dyata hum soro soro prasoro swaha namo soro payata yata yata dyata hum soro soro prasoro swaha om gagana sambhava vasha om gagana. Yes, virtues adorn the Buddha's pure land, repaying 4 kinds of kindness above and aiding those suffering in the paths below. May those who see and hear of all bring forth the resolve for when this wretch Amitabha Buddha. Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life, I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and of love. I take in the refuge of Buddha, path in the refuge of Dharma, I learn to open many doors on the path of transformation, dwelling in the refuge of Sangha, shining light supports me, keeping my practice free of obstruction. Self, I aspire to help all people recognize their own waken nature, realize, aspire to help all people fully master the ways of practice and walk together on the path of liberation. Take communities to beings and support their transformation. Benefits without limits, we vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who give God